Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Financial Fitness Friday. And we are going to go over something that a lot of people don't think about, right? And it's very, very rare these days. But one of the biggest contributors to my businesses ever have always been relationships, right? It's why almost every core value that we have in our company revolves around client experience and relationships. Because when you take care of other people, they take care of you. All right. They go out of their way for you. They take bullets for you. They'll run through walls for you. Right. When you over deliver on everything, okay, it makes it not about price, but about service and about impact. Okay. And when people have those experiences, the best part is that they recommend and refer you business so you don't have to market. And when that happens, and you consistently take care of people like that, one client sends you two and he comes back, and then those two clients send you another two clients. And so the best type of marketing is word of mouth and relationships, right? So we have relationships with accountants, we have relationships with bookkeepers, we do a lot of education based marketing, right? And what happens is when we're taking care of that many people, you develop a ton of positive word of mouth. All right. And that gets you into rooms, it gets you noticed, and you don't have to spend the same type of marketing dollar, right? I don't have to go out and spend 30, 40, $50,000 a month to bring in clients. But it also works the other way. Okay. So here's what I mean. If you don't do the right things by people, right? Or you're not loyal to people, the next time you need something, do you think they're going to give you that same level of service? Absolutely not. And the worst thing you could ever say to somebody is it's just business. Okay. Uh, because what happens when you guys do this, it shuts doors. You guys don't realize it. It shuts doors. Those people don't need to go out of their way for you, right? There are certain rooms I've gotten in, and it's not because I was wealthy. It's not because of anything. It's when I was just starting out because I just wanted to learn and listen. How's it going? Learn and listen and get better.
Oh, Jesus.
Um, Not my jam. So,
Uh,
so that being said, guys, like this is a super important lesson, right? You take care of your relationships because each level that you go up in business, those people talk. All right. They network. All right. And I can tell you that people that have been to those types of levels, those types of rooms, when you get in there, all right, those people have solved the challenges that you're going through already. They can fast track your success, they can show you the way. If you're trying to figure out a problem that's really hard for you, it's probably really simple and easy for them. Okay. And to be honest, it that revolves around having great relationships, doing the right thing, and being loyal. Dave, what are your thoughts on this?
yeah, relationships are everything, man. It just makes, you and I have talked about it. We've talked about networking. We talked about getting in different rooms nationally, locally, especially locally. Um, it's, you could kill something real fast. It's relationships to me, it's one of those weird things because it takes a while to sometimes really get to know people, right? I had somebody reach out to me. I hope he sees this actually, but he reached out to me. He asked, "Hey man, how can we collab together?" Right? He's in Miami, and let's link up, let's talk.
That's your first problem.
Well, yeah, it's the capital of the world for bullshit. Like we know that. So, but I gave the dude a chance, right? Talked, whatever, learned about what he does, learned about what I do. I gave him some game on how to help him like solve a problem that he had, and whatever, ran out of time. Next meeting, I said, "Hey, you want to finish that conversation?" Yeah, it'd be great. He reaches out and we set it up, and then we get on there and start talking about he knows I know what he does because I explained to him what he does. Oh, cool, man. Yeah. So it's not like secret sauce thing. So he starts pitching me like right away, like into it. And I'm listening. I'm like, yo, man, like we're not going there. It's like going out on the second date with a girl and like you're already like trying to take her home. You know what I mean? And it's like, dude, like Like, what are you doing? And he's young, man. So like, I'll give him grace for being 24, but it's like, listen, dude, like you're talking to the wrong dude, man. Like, you reached out to me to create a relationship, to network, to see if it's a fit. I'm not part of like a free sales pitch. Like, please don't do that. Like, you will get the door closed really fast, because not only does that affect between you and me, well, what if I start, like, what if there is an exchange, or hey, I know this guy, he does this over there. You're going to do the same thing to other people. And then that makes you look bad. Right.
Yeah.
So, you got to think about, if you're on that flip side doing that kind of shit, you got to think about not just that person, but like you said, man, it closes doors, right? What does that lead to?
Quick.
Yeah, man.
Quick. And here's a good one. Like, this is one that people don't understand, right? So I'm not going to say the guy's name, okay? He's a really good friend of mine. And I was in a pinch, okay? We were business partners on a failed business. We are still very, very close today. And I was going to lose my home that I was purchasing here, not because I couldn't get approved. It was a timing issue and some paperwork issue. I needed to come up with an obscene amount of money that I was not liquid for. I would have had to sell a lot of investments to buy my home. I called him in a panic. I wasn't asking him for the money. Okay. I called him in a panic to say, hey, what do you think? And how can I get around this? The dude wired me like 300,000. Okay. 400,000, whatever it was, to close on the house. And then as soon as I was able to get that paperwork, I was able to close on the mortgage and pay him back. All right. How many people do you know that can actually do that? Right. That same person, okay, 2 years later, gave me $700,000 to do an investment. Okay. The investment went sideways. We had a dirty escrow agent. You can look up the lawsuit. It's Messner Reeves versus Emerald Consulting Partners. And they basically stole the money. Okay. I have been paying him back ever since. Ever since. Okay. I was not legally obligated. It was an investment. I have been paying him back. I am almost close to being done paying him back. Okay. And it's just, that's the type of relationships you want and you need in life. Because without that, dude, you can't get in all the doors. You can't get in all the rooms. I know that if I call him up and I need something, it will be there the next day. No questions asked. Right. And in business, you can multiply and compound what you're doing by having those relationships. Right. I can't tell you how many clients I've gotten out of the shit. Like, they're in a bad situation. I show them the way and they're doing better. And then they'll send me a ton of business. But think about the client that you help and then they don't do the right thing and they go behind your back. Are you still going to have that same level of respect for that person? Are you still going to invite him to like inner circle things, right? Where you know that there's other people that could help him or could be a benefit to him? No, because if he did that to you, he would do that to them. You understand? So now your relationships and your resources are not open for a person like that. And so many people are short-sighted today. And I get it, because people are usually struggling, right? Like, that's the thing with inflation, with the economy, with all the crazy stuff going on geopolitically. All right. People don't think, hey, let me keep my relationships intact. How can I help these people? Right. And then those doors get closed. Thoughts on that, Dave?
No, man. I mean, you're spot on, man. And I think people kind of look at this twofold well, right? Like, you look at people who are online and then face to face. It's, oh, I'm online, I could be a schmuck. Like, listen, you're eventually, and then they go on to the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. So that's a cesspool in and of its own. But dude, locally, and I think there's a lot of people locally that get around in these rooms, and you could go in any market and find this. And then all of a sudden, man, like, it just stinks. And then all of a sudden, then the whole room starts to stink. And you start to notice that, man, locally. It's like it's always the same people doing the same things. All right, this is watered down. And I guess even you and I were talking about this beforehand. It could be any room, right? It could be national room, it could be local room. You start, it's like any sickness or
It's
disease.
rot. It's rot. Once you get rot in there, right? A couple cancels. Like, dude, I'll tell you. Like, I love Arte. Okay, I'll be real. But when Andy promoted Aaron Wagner, a lot of people invested with him. Okay, I invested a ton, multiple six figures. That dude's now he's brought up with the FBI. Like, that money, I don't think I'm ever seeing that again. Right? That is a problem, right? It cheapens the brand. You got to understand that. There has to be guardrails. And I understand it from their point of view. They had no idea. Okay. They got fooled just as well. But address it. Yep. Address it. Yeah, right. There's other people in that group that have done similar things, just not on the same level, obviously. But you have to be cognizant. It's why I left Apex. Okay, Apex was a cesspool, and it just kept getting filled and filled and filled. But the difference between Apex and Arte is, Andy's a stand-up guy. Ed is a stand-up guy. They are just too busy to police that group. You know what I mean? So that happens, but other organizations are not like that, and it creates chaos. And then what I said, it cheapens the brand. You don't have that trust. You don't have that loyalty, and people aren't going to help you and open those doors. Right? It's a big thing, man. I can't stress it enough. Final thoughts?
No, man. I mean, there's an attraction level to that. There's some rooms that are like really clean, man, and they keep it small. I think anytime you get around things in mass numbers, that's why the term, and this was my thing this year, man, like locally, right? Like, get in smaller rooms. Less is more. And you're not going to have the buffoonery, man, like when you start meeting too many people. That was a lesson for me the last couple of years. It's like, hey, all these mortgage brokers, all that, like coming in, and it's like most of them aren't even doing anything. And then it's like you got to get around some really cool
producers.
Yeah, man. I was fortunate enough to be invited to a really cool event at somebody's property last night, man, and I met so many great people. Like, the energy is different. Like, when you get around that certain energy, you just know. And there's a bunch of people there, some really strong people, like let's put it that way. People that I already know personally that were there, and I'm like, oh hell yeah, this is it, man. It's one of the things too, and I think you got to continuously, like with relationships, man, you're going to, it's just in anything, right? Batting averages, like you're going to find some great people, but most of them, they're not going to see eye to eye, man. And you got to understand that not everybody's a good fit.
Yep. And I'll tell you this too, and I'll leave you with this, right? Relationships and how you treat people matter. One of my, Mike Burns, okay? I want to leave on a super positive example. Mike Burns is one of the most down-to-earth, real people I know, okay? He is great with relationships. He's a great dude. And he connected me with somebody that was a client. Okay. I got along really well with this client. I helped this client a lot, but over time, he got to know me. He's like really well. Now he's like one of my close, like people. Okay. He started a Facebook group, and it's a Facebook group for the trades. All right. I post content in there, and that's where I do a lot of business. Why? What opened that door? One relationship. And then from that one relationship, I made another relationship. And that relationship, I went above and beyond. I took care of. I showed him something that he didn't at the time know. It worked very well for his business. He had a great exit, which honestly, man, I love seeing my friends win. All right. That's another big one. I know Andy talks about it all the time. He builds this group. Now this group has multiple six figures in it. Not like money wise. I mean people, right? And then he tells everyone about the experience he had with me. All right. That's 2 relationships. All right. That stuff matters. That's why this is ingrained in my core values. That's why I will always go above and beyond and always try to do the right thing by people. This is the way you build a business. If it's transactional, okay, it's not for me, right? If it's a relationship, that will always get you farther. All right. So guys, please listen to this. If you take nothing out, always go above and beyond for people, always do the right thing, and have a level of loyalty that, is I'm not saying to people that don't deserve it. And when someone shows you they don't deserve it, you walk, right? But that loyalty is super, super important. All right. That's how you build real things. That's how you build a real business, a real team. All right. Everything else is superficial. All right, guys. Leave it with that. Sorry, I know we went a little bit longer. Thanks for tuning in. Share this with someone that needs to hear it. Take care.
Be great, y'all.